Aid workers warn that even with restrictions lifted, without unfettered access to goods, the country is still on track for a large-scale famine. More than 7 million Yemenis already live on the brink of famine, and 20 million are dependent on aid to survive. Reuters. The first UN aid ship has been allowed access to a port in rebel-controlled Yemen, 3 weeks after the Saudiled coalition shut down all of the country's borders. The blockade, put in place as retaliation for a rebel Houthi missile which was intercepted near the Saudi capital of Riyadh, has pushed the war-torn country even further towards complete humanitarian catastrophe. Enough food arrived at the port of Salif on Sunday to feed 1.8 million people in northern Yemen for a month. Aid agencies warn, however, that without unfettered access to commercial imports and goods such as fuel generators which power hospitals and treat drinking water, the country is still on track for a large-scale famine. Yemen. More than 50,000 children expected to die of starvation and disease by end of year. More than 7 million Yemenis already live on the brink of famine, and 20 million, 2/3 of the population, are dependent on aid to survive. As a result of the latest blockade, the World Food Programme estimates an additional 3.2 million people have been pushed into hunger. The Arab coalition, fighting on behalf of Yemen's exiled government, said on the 22nd of November that key sea and airports would reopen following satisfactory reviews of the UN's inspection procedures to prevent weapon smuggling. UN planes carrying cholera vaccines and other medical supplies touched down in the rebel-held capital of Sana'a on Saturday. Hodeida's ports, through which the majority of Yemen's imports flow, were still blocked as of this weekend. I reiterate my plea to everyone with a heart for children, not to prevent us from delivering what is urgently needed and massively needed, said Geert Kapelier, UNICEF's Middle East director. Yesterday was just a very small step. More than 10,000 people have died in the 2-year conflict to date as a result of violence, starvation, the world's largest cholera epidemic, and other diseases. Aid agencies warn that the true statistics are likely to be much higher. Saudi Arabia and its regional partners have justified an extensive bombing campaign on Yemen's Shia Houthi rebels, who are backed by the kingdom's regional rival Iran. The intense air strikes, which in some cases have targeted hospitals and funeral gatherings, have killed thousands of civilians. Western governments, including the UK, have been heavily criticized for selling weapons export licenses to Saudi Arabia, which rights groups say are destined for use in Yemen's war. More about Yemen. Saudi Arabia. Yemeni civil war famine. Reuse content. We use cookies to enhance your visit to our site and to bring you advertisements that might interest you. Read our privacy and cookie policies to find out more.